Regina?
Thank you very much, Kyria. Very well put. It is 4 years. 22 people lost their lives during that particular attack, where the Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility. Government then followed and said that they had killed all those who actually, the assailants who breached the compound of the 14 Riverside complex that hosted offices as well as the Dusit D2 hotel. This evening we'll look at strides that have been made by government to avert as well as stem violent extremism. Taking us through this conversation is none other than Peter Cheboi, who's a senior liaison officer with the National Counter Terrorism Centre. Thank you, sir, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Regina, for hosting me here at KBC 9 o'clock news.
Yes, Karibu Sana. We call it Sunday Express. Now, let's start off with defining what does the National Counter Terrorism Centre deal with?
Thank you so much, Regina. National Counter Terrorism Centre is a multi-agency, primarily of security sectors, that play a role in coordinating all the counter-terrorism efforts in this country by rallying all sectors in Kenya and all the citizens to reject violent extremism and terrorism that affect us globally.
Very well put. Now with that, it is 4 years on today. Yes. 22 people lost their lives. No convictions have been made in regard to that particular, the latest high-profile terrorist attack to happen in the country, despite the numerous, arrests that have been made. Where is the challenge?
Regina, thank you so much for that question. We have issues pertaining information sharing, and information sharing is critical, which in this case has to come from the public and any other person out there who has information pertaining perpetrators of terrorism, and also those who radicalize people into violent extremism. Yes.
So it's an issue of lack of information. It's not the fact that we are not pursuing the persons who are behind this attack.
The perpetrators are pursued not only in Kenya but globally, and that is why we say terrorism is a global issue.
Yes.
It's global, and that is why you see countries all over the world are having concerted efforts, are teaming up to pursue terrorists because they crisscross and cut across nations and regions. And that is why from recent reports, the U.S. Embassy is putting a bounty on the high-profile planners of 14th Riverside attack.
Do you think then this move to have this $10 million reward is actually going to incentivize the public to share crucial information?
We, as a government, on national counter-terrorism lens, are calling upon the public to come out, those who have information, whether in Kenya or even those in Somalia, to come out and share the information. And we hope that that will bear fruits.
The question is, how safe am I as an individual if today I had crucial information that would lead to the arrest of this particular cell leader, who was behind the planning of this? How safe would I be?
Thank you so much for that question. The safety falls in the witness protection, whereby the government has put mechanisms to protect individuals who share information with the government on perpetrators of terrorism. So the safety is assured, and that is why you have heard that there are some witnesses that have come out, but you don't know them because they are well guarded by the government.
Witness protection.
Yes.
My safety is assured.
By that act of witness protection and how the government will put its mechanisms to ensure that you are safe.
Yes. Now, we're looking at those who are susceptible to violent extremism. The larger cadre falls on the youth demographic. Why so? Why the Allah? What pulls them to violent extremism?
That is a very important question, and a question that is particularly targeting our youth. We all know that youth is a critical mass of any nation. A nation without youth is a dead nation. And the energy that youth has in itself is huge. So when it comes to the attraction of the youth to issues of violent extremism, it is motivated by falsehoods from those who spread the propaganda and also the narratives of enticing youth. They attract them using some ideologies that do not hold water, but they have selfish interests towards that. Secondly, when it comes to issues pertaining economic point of view, remember, youth would like to have lavish and flashy lives because they are motivated by good things. But the radicalizers try to use that vulnerability to entice the youth. But they are enticing the youth in something which is not there, because stories that we have pertaining those that have gone there, maybe crossed over to Somalia and received the amnesty that was there some times back, and also those who escape from Somalia tell us disturbing stories pertaining what is there in Somalia. The training comes by the Al-Shabaabs. They face a lot of challenges. They face a lot of psychological traumas because of what they are taken through. But the radicalizers use persuasive language and also entice them with some gifts because they want to have them fast into their net. And that is why these youth are hoodwinked to think that going there will be a paradise, a life that is full of happiness, etc. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So economy as well as falsehoods. This
Absolutely.
is why the youth are actually susceptible to violent extremism.
Absolutely.
So now from where you sit, especially at the National Counter Terrorism Centre, what are you doing to ensure that, we increase capacity among our youth, to desist from this pull, this attraction?
Wow, that's a very good question. Our NCTC is playing different roles to ensure that we dissuade our youth from being enticed and radicalized and also recruited into violent extremism through different ways. One, we engage in sensitization. We sensitize our youth across the board in different platforms, be it physically, be it in schools, institutions of higher learning, among other forums, whereby we get reach of these youth to sensitize them against radicalization into violent extremism and also engaging in acts of terrorism and also other forms of crimes in this country. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sensitization. Now,
also, we train some of them on livelihoods, especially on how to draw or come up with proposals that will attract funding from different donors or different players out there in the field.
So that you can empower them economically.
So that we can empower them economically and make them to be self-reliant. And also with that economic empowerment and self-reliance, that youth will not be easily susceptible to radicalization into violent extremism and all other sorts of enticements. Yes.
Now, from where you sit, we first had our first terror attack in 1997 with the August bombing, and the Dusit D2 is the latest, and we hope we're not going to have such, though we are having spate of terror attack along our borderline. But what can we say we have learned, from all these attacks? What are we ready to do better?
Regina, we've come a long way in the lessons learned. Remember in 1997, that is when the huge attack occurred in Kenya.
Yes.
Unlike one in 1980, we remember about the Norfolk Hotel.
Yes.
Somewhere here.
Yeah.
From there, we've had some attacks. 1997, we had Westgate, we had Garissa University, and the 14th Riverside, what you call Dusit. All along, there are some lessons learned. And these lessons, which are learned, have improved the security architecture and regime of the government in dealing with these issues of terrorism. For example, I can tell you that the executions on how to respond to these attacks have tremendously improved.
Okay, that's assuring.
That is a fact. Have tremendously improved from Westgate to Garissa University and to the 14th Riverside.
Okay.
You see the operations, the executions of the respondents, the communication to the public has improved. And the media has also played a very critical role in disseminating this information.
Now, you've pointed out, I like that you've brought in the media, because after the Westgate attack and now Dusit, leave alone Garissa, the media found itself in a situation where it received criticism over how it actually covered those incidences. In your expert opinion, is it of benefit, critical benefit to, for security and also the country itself, for the media to actually cover a live terror attack?
Thank you so much for that question. When it comes to, let's say, Westgate, the coverage was below standard. Why? Because of the pictures and the images that the media exposed to the public. Even before the members of the public could know that some of their kins were among the victims, which is so traumatizing. However, when it came to the Dusit, media had tremendously improved. And we thank media for that.
That's a positive. But
and we urge media to continue improving on that matter, because if you do things that seem to glorify terrorism through your coverage, then it will make terrorism and terrorists achieve their aim.
Now, in conclusion, as we can bring this conversation to a close, given that it is 4 years on, we hope that justice is finally going to be served. What are the basic do's and don'ts in light of a terror attack?
Thank you so much. In light of a terror attack, there are some things that the public is advised not to do, let's say, in case there is an attack. One of them is going to the scene where attack has taken place. Why? Because we have what we call secondary attacks, which may occur. And in the event, many members of the public can fall into it and form the statistics of what is happening there. So members of the public are asked, in case of anything, which we don't hope something happens, that those are some of the things that they need to do. And in terms of what they need to do is sharing of information. Information sharing is critical. And we urge the members of the public, here or outside there, to share useful information that can assist the security apparatus to arrest or even to stop or prevent any kind of attack to the public and institutions or infrastructure.
There you have it. That is Peter Cheboi, our guest this morning, a senior liaison officer at the National Counter Terrorism Centre, 4 years on after the Dusit terror attack, where Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility and 22 lives were lost. Also, what you need to know is that you can never negotiate with a terrorist. This is not a thief.
Very important. And just like it has been said before, kwamba usalama unaanza na wewe. It's important that we take up that role. I think the DCI has been sharing its numbers. Fichua kwa DCI. I don't know whether the National Counter Terrorism Centre has its own numbers, probably, or people can call if they see something suspicious.
Yes, we have. Absolutely, we have our numbers that when we go out there to engage with the public, for your information, we do a lot of engagement with the public. And the reason why we do that is to engage in what we call soft approach. And this soft approach is geared towards changing the hearts and minds of people so that people cannot find themselves
as part of this.
So I can share NCTC's numbers if you wish to, or...
Yes, you can, as we come to a close.
You have the numbers, because I think the DCIs are quite public.
Yeah.
If you have them.
Yes, I have a toll-free number.
A toll-free number.
For NCTC, 0800 721 600. That is for call. And also we have for messaging.
Okay.
Text messaging, 40847.
Wow. That's important. There's a number that is toll-free, and also there's a number where you can send an SMS just in case you don't want to call, but it's actually a call to us to be wary of what surrounds us, and most importantly, to protect this country, because like they say, we don't have a spare one.
There's no spare.
You don't have a spare one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's why we put a cap on Sunday Express. Thanks very much for watching.
Just
John, you have something to say very quickly?
Yes.
Because
At NCTC, we normally say, if you see something, say something.
Oh,
if you see something, say something. And that goes to the members of the public out there, that if you see something, say something. Because that will save us from attacks and even from our children being recruited.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Cheboi, for joining us this evening. And this is where we put a cap on Sunday Express. My name is John Jacob Curie. Have yourself a fantastic week ahead.
And I am Regina Manyara. Have a pleasant evening ahead. And I know those who support Arsenal are actually going to bed happy. Well, there we go, Chelsea fans and Manchester United fans.
All right. Good night. Thank you.